Hello pilots and ground crew, welcome back to my channel. Now you can see here I've got the Turnigy Evolution on the table. Now this video is not necessarily about this, but in a way it is. If you've recently purchased the Turnigy Evolution because you've decided to try one, great little transmitters, fit the hand lovely if you're a thumber, and just switch your fingers round if you're a pincher. So they're a great transmitter. However, I'm not really here to talk about the transmitters today, but if you've recently purchased one of these, you'll find your receiver options limited. Let me just move this out the road. Now if you're using a biggish quad, you're able to get one of these Turnigy, the IA6B. Receivers, ignore this because I don't use these in any of my models. All this is, if you're interested, it's a connector. I plug it straight into my USB, and then when I'm flying my simulator games, instead of having a cable, it's just plugged. This plugs straight into the USB and use the simulator that way rather than having cables. Anyway, yeah, that's why it's a bit of a mess at the moment. But the IA6B, a lot of people use these. You've got your SBUS, your iBus, your PPM, and it's a great little receiver. And if you've got a big model, right, if you're using it for planes, great, yeah, or something like a 250 size quad or something. But as soon as you get a little bit smaller than that, and some of the models nowadays, as we know, the framework is very tiny. So this isn't really practical. But that's where the most common here now for the Turnigy Evolution is the Turnigy IA6C. Let me just zoom in a bit. Oh, wrong way. The IA6C. Now this is SBUS, PPM and iBus. Now you will not see iBus anywhere on there. However, you can set this up as an iBus receiver. But as I said, this is the more common, the more go-to. They're an excellent receiver for the Turnigy Evolution. They work brilliantly. On most Turnigys, when you buy the transmitter, you get one of them free. And they're cheap as chips, and they are really good transmitters, receivers. However, if you're building a smaller model, these can be a bit bulky, and then you can run into problems trying to find an actual receiver that'll be good enough with a half decent signal that'll actually work with the Turnigy Evolution, because it's not one of them things where you can use any receiver. And that's where this little boy comes in from Turnigy. I've left it next to it so you can see just how small it is. It's the FS Foxtrot Sierra A8S Alpha 8 Sierra, and it's a good little receiver. I keep saying transmitter. It's a good little receiver. As you can see, it's only one antenna, so it's not as powerful range wise as the IA6C, but it does everything you'd want it to do. You'll get, for flying your mini quads, you'll get a good, I've been from one end of the field to the other, and you're talking 300, maybe 400 feet. And depending, if you won't put this on a big model like an aeroplane or fly it, you just lose signal. Let me just move this one out of the road. If I zoom in a little bit more on this one, you'll see better. Just line it up. Get into focus. I think that's in focus. It's hard to tell. Right, well on here you've got iBus, SBUS and PPM. However, I've used a few of these and I have never found one yet where the SBUS actually works. So I believe it's a manufacturing fault. Please leave comments if you have one and they do, and the SBUS does work. Maybe I'm doing something wrong in the setup. but I've never been able to get SBUS to work. The iBus works great and the PPM works great. Now with your iBus, be careful, don't just buy it thinking, oh, I'll set it up as iBus and I'm off. A lot of flight control boards won't accept iBus, so you'd have to, because there's no SBUS, you'd have to set it up as PPM. Just for instance, I tried setting it up in my F45V Pro flight control board. It's an all-in-one, and it wouldn't work because that particular board does not accept iBus, and because the SBUS doesn't work, I say it wouldn't work, iBus wouldn't work, so I set it up as PPM. But if you want it for a smaller model, that's just so you can compare the sizes. I mean, it is a tiny little receiver, and it works pretty damn good. As I said, nothing to the range of that one or even the other one, right, the IA6B, the big one. But the IA6C is a great receiver, fits in most size models down to your 210s and stuff, but depending on what frame you've got, as we all know, a lot of frames now are really small. So I just wanted to show you this one. You may have already seen them before, but the main thing I wanted to tell you is don't get it relying on SBUS. Because like I said, if you have one that works, please leave comments, tell me what I'm doing wrong. But I've had a few of these and I haven't been able to get SBUS to work. Okay then, pilots and ground crew, thanks for watching. If you like, please subscribe, leave thumbs up or thumbs down, and cheers.